Well, whatever the hell that was a thriller at the American Airlines Center. Unfortunately, the Mavericks fall to Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. We'll break it all down coming up next on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. Welcome to the DLLS Mavs post-game show powered by Game Time and Michelob Ultra. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. And Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curl. We are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys covering your favorite team, even in a thrilling loss at the American Airlines Center as the Knicks defeat the Mavericks 113-111 in a missed free throw fest. I don't know what the hell the last minute and a half was in this game, but Landry Shamet hit a couple of three-pointers to put the Knicks up not once but twice. Brandon Williams gets called for an offensive foul for hooking Craig Ludwig on Landry Shamet as the Mavericks, who tried to tie the game in the waning seconds, are not able to. And the Knicks and Jalen Brunson, who returned tonight after missing the last few games with an ankle sprain, escape Dallas with a win tonight, Bobby Corella.
Yeah, I thought this was like the perfect recipe for an upset. The Knicks in this game missed 16 free throws. They shot 28.6% from three, and they weren't really that much better from two.
They were gross.
To be honest, I mean, they just looked very uninspired in general. I was really not impressed by the Knicks at all tonight. Part of that was because the Mavs were playing really good defense. They were getting after it, man. I mean, that team busts its ass every single night. Those guys battle, those guys fight, and you can't say enough about that. And so that combination of like competitive spirit and energy, despite missing not only Kyrie and AD, but also Coop tonight, plus the Knicks just building several houses. Deuce McBride.
Yeah, looking at you, Miles McBride.
Oh, my God,
No, he's not Deuce.
man.
He's Miles.
Yeah, he's Miles tonight.
Yeah, he's Miles
He's
tonight.
kilometers tonight.
Yeah.
He was not shooting like an American.
Yeah,
all right.
For sure.
But the Mavs just, at the end of the day, they couldn't get out of their own way, man. 17 turnovers, so they went minus 18 as a team. So they committed 9 more turnovers than the Knicks. The Knicks outscored the Mavs by 10 in second chance points. The Mavs in the paint tonight, just 15 of 33. That's below 50%. They didn't take advantage at all of any of their second chances. And so despite the Knicks shooting horribly from everywhere on the floor, the Mavs still ended up second best offensively. And, you know, it comes down to the very end of the game after the Knicks are like, no, please win this game.
Nobody
Please.
wanted to win this game.
I will do anything to lose this game. Brandon Williams gets called for a hook in the open floor. He absolutely wrapped his arm around Landry Shamet. I don't necessarily think that it gave him much or maybe even any leverage, and it definitely didn't knock Shamet off his spot. It didn't do anything to sort of like create an advantage, but in the open floor to do that, it's just it's
you
really
made it too easy
it's,
for the
it's
official
really
to
tough.
make that call.
Yeah, now he's not trying to hook him as he's trying to like ward him off, kind of, which isn't really a foul necessarily, or create a little bit of contact or just feel where he is kind of thing. You know, he's not trying to hook.
Right.
But, you know, the contact was what it was, and you know, unfortunate break for the Mavs, but I don't really have necessarily a problem with the call. I think that it was just the Mavs had many, many chances to win the games, and the Knicks had many chances to lose it, and they took advantage of all of them, but they still walk out with a win. It was just a wild, wild game.
Yeah, the numbers from this game were gross in a number of areas, especially for both teams shooting the basketball. I mean, the Mavericks wound up 41.2% from the field overall. They went 19 of 41 from two-point range, shooting just 46% from two-point range. Knicks, 41 of 93 from the field, going 44.1%. Knicks shot an abysmal 28.6% from downtown, had 27 assists. The number tonight, though, the New York Knicks missed, check this out, 16 free throws in this game, going 19 of 35 from the line tonight. That is a 54.3% clip from the charity stripe for New York. Meanwhile, the Mavericks did go 25 of 30 from the line, going 83% from the field. Overall, going 16 of 44 from three at a 36% clip for Dallas. Mavericks tonight had 5 guys in double figures. Jaden Hardy with 11, Najee Marshall, D'Angelo Russell, each with 23 points in this game. Max Christie had 15, and Klay Thompson had 13 on 5 of 11 shooting in what was 26 minutes of play in this game. Meanwhile, the Knicks, led by Jalen Brunson, the returning Jalen Brunson, had 28 points on 11 of 23 shooting tonight as well. Mikal Bridges, 16 points. Karl-Anthony Towns, an abysmal night shooting the basketball, going 6 of 16, but he did have 18 points and 14 rebounds in this game as well. The other guys in double figures for the Knicks included Josh Hart, who had 16 points, and somehow Miles McBride wound up with 11 points in this game. But it was Landry Shamet's clutch three-point shooting down the stretch. He made his first 2 3-pointers of the game in the final minute of tonight's game. Unfortunately, the Mavericks losing one of the better shooters on the team in the crucial moments, and Landry Shamet made him pay down the stretch here from the three-point line.
Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and the Mavs were by far the better three-point shooting team tonight until the fourth quarter. They were 3 of 11 in the fourth quarter. That's 27%. They were 5 of 16 from the floor in the fourth quarter. That's 31%. And it always comes down to, okay, who is going to get shots for them in crunch time? The two guys that can reliably make things happen, I guess, with the ball in their hands are Brandon Williams and D'Lo. Those guys in the fourth quarter combined were 1 of 5 from the floor with 2 turnovers. Max Christie was the only Mav to make multiple shots in the fourth quarter. They were both threes. PJ was 0 for. Klay was 1 for 3. He had a horrifying air ball on what was a pretty decent look with a minute or two to go. And another clutch time slog through the mud for the Mavs.
Yeah.
They have a really, 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 really hard time generating good looks and then knocking down whatever looks they do get in the fourth quarter, because that's where you need your star power. And tonight, with no Coop, who's been pretty automatic in that regard lately, obviously no AD, no Kyrie, it was going to be really tough if it did come down to the wire. And it looked like there were moments in the game where it really felt like the Knicks were just, again, begging, like, please.
They were trying to give this game
Please
away.
bust this game open.
Yes.
Just go up by 10 and we'll stop. Like, we'll just quit. We'll quit. But the Mavs, they can't score consistently enough to go on these prolonged, like, 18-4 runs that just in 3 or 4 minutes, it's just a big punch, or over the course of 5 minutes, you just stifle them defensively and score enough to build a lead. They were playing stretches of stifling defense, and there were stretches of shot making, but those two things never really coincided. Like, they just have such a hard time creating separation against teams. And, you know, you let a team, even though Jalen Brunson himself was pretty bad, I thought, in the fourth quarter tonight, you let a team stick around and they're going to be able to do something. And the Shamet 3, the second Shamet 3 was the backbreaker. That was at the very end of the game. The Knicks get a look. It was, who was it? It was Jalen, right? Was it a Jalen shot that they got the rebound on?
Yeah, got the rebound off of.
Yeah. Man, I should have taken screenshots. I'm sorry. GM Ben is just off camera, very disappointed in me right now for not just taking screenshots and breaking this down on live on the show. But yeah. But the Knicks get the rebound, and, you know, Shaman at the time was in the corner, and D'Lo was guarding him. And here's what happened. Here's what happened. The Mavs had Gafford in the game. All right, so the Mavs are playing their normal lineup. They had a center and then a bunch of forwards and guards and stuff. The Mavs had a wing on Cat, so the Knicks put Cat in the right side corner. It's Josh Hart setting screen for Jalen. The Mavs blitz that screen, so it's Gaff and a guard now on Jalen to get the ball out of his hands. So it gets a Hart. Hart misses the 3. They get the rebound. They kick it out to Shamet. And what happened is D'Lo was looking for the rebound. Najee leaves Josh Hart to go help to get the rebound. And then there's kind of this empty pocket of space created. Shamet cuts into that space, and D'Lo is still looking at the ball, still looking to see, okay, do we get the rebound or not? He wanted to travel. He wanted something, whatever. Just lost sight of Shamet for 1 second, and that gave him enough to relocate and make the three, and that was very sad. And also, it was Josh Hart that missed a 2, and Josh Hart got the rebound. So he missed his own shot and got the rebound. That's even worse. Ugh. That's so bad. I completely forgot about that part. I thought he took a 3 and bricked it, but he missed the layup and got his own rebound.
Yeah. We talked about...
He's like 6'2".
Well, that's what Josh Hart does, man. He's
that cat at the 3-point line. So it's like, what is the... So, and I even said to you before that play, like as it was happening, I was like, I don't like that Gafford's in the game.
You did say that, yeah.
And then you immediately said, well, who else would be out there? And I was like, you know what? That's a really good point. But the issue here is if Gafford's in the game and you're putting him on Hart is going to set the high screen for Jalen. So Gafford is going to be dragged out 25 feet from the rim.
Yeah.
You're not going to switch that. You're also not going to drop that. You're going to you have to blitz to get it out of Jalen's hands, but then Gafford is now your farthest guy away from the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get a shot up quickly enough, he's not going to be able to get down there and get the rebound.
Can't get the rebound.
Someone else is going to have to get it. But the other problem is you had one of probably your best defender was also on Jalen. So Najee is way out there and Gafford is way out there. Those are also your 2 tallest players on the floor, unless PJ is able to win a 1v1 box out against Cat. So now it's got to be D'Lo or I guess Max Christie getting a rebound against Josh Hart, who is a great rebounder. Just like tactically, this is a really big disadvantage, and that's obviously an example where the Mavs miss having Coop out there because in that situation, he's probably pulling down that rebound. D'Lo's probably not even on the floor, so it's just it was a tough situation.
And as you mentioned, cooperflagg was not available in tonight's game. Had to miss this game due to illness. Caleb Martin was also not available either. Maybe he could have been a defensive substitution to maybe help out in some of that area either. No Caleb Martin in tonight's game as well, as the Mavericks fall 113 to 111. Bye, GM Ben. See you later. And look, it was an ugly fourth quarter, especially down the stretch. The Knicks missed went 3 of 10 from the free throw line. The Mavericks missed some crucial free throws themselves down the stretch. In fact, PJ Washington was trying to miss a second of 2 free throws, wound up making it, and chaos continued to ensue from there. So in a lot of ways, the Mavericks, who came into tonight's game an 8.5-point underdog to the New York Knicks, played hard, played competitive basketball without several of their guys. But in the end, again, we continue to sound like broken records on this particular show. The inability to execute late game situations down the stretch, whether they're defensive breakdowns, not being able to make free throws, or in this case, unfortunately, whether you like the call or not, committing an offensive foul that would have given them a chance to potentially tie the game and see where the game goes from there. So,
yeah, but late game, it's like the team with the best player usually wins a close game.
Yeah.
Or the best, in this case, really the best players, Jalen Brunson, All-Star, Cat, All-Star. These are all NBA caliber players going up against essentially the Mavs minus 3 of their starters. Like they said it. I think it might have been Legs who said it, like as they were about to tip off. They're like, the Mavs are missing 2 All-Stars and the number 1 pick.
That's right.
Like, oh my God, they're missing so much talent.
And the other 2 were former number 1 picks.
Yeah, so they're missing 3 number 1 picks.
They're missing 3 number 1 picks.
It's really tough for them to win any of these close games, and that's why what are they now? Like 3-9?
3-9 clutch games. 3-9 in clutch games.
It's just so tough, man. I mean, their margin for error is non-existent.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Anthony Davis missed his 11th straight game with the left calf strain. We mentioned cooperflagg missing the game due to illness. Caleb Martin was not available to play either, as the Mavericks fall to 0-1 on their current 3-game homestand. They'll have the day off tomorrow in terms of play, and then they'll get back on the floor for the first night of a back-to-back on Friday when they welcome in the New Orleans Pelicans for Game 3 of NBA Cup action.
Third worst shot quality of the season for the Mavs tonight in a game. Third worst shot quality, and they now have 3 of the 24 worst shot quality games in the league. Their other 2 being against the Spurs, which is the worst shot quality by any team in a game this season, and also their game against the Thunder. So, and then the game against Minnesota was their 4th worst. So it's really like they have had pretty good games against bad teams. They have really struggled against good teams, and they played some of these games with AD, and all of them until now with Coop. So like, it's the offense is just not there, man. The offense is not there.
Let's take our first break here on the DLLS Mavs podcast and postgame show, as we have crossed now midnight into Thursday morning here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we discuss the turning point in this game and what was a wild fourth quarter. Also, D'Angelo Russell having a big third quarter. We'll talk about all that and more coming up next. Well, let me talk to you about reputation and trust. Let me also talk to you about local experience, no high-pressure tactics when it comes to Qualys Roofing. With over 700 five-star reviews and an average rating of 4.9, Qualys Roofing is one of the most trusted names in roofing across North Texas and Austin. Homeowners and business owners alike praise Qualys for their honesty, follow-through, and quality workmanship as well. Based right here in North Texas, Qualys is some storm chasing, my words. Storm chasing fly-by-night crew, their local experience, and I sound like Jalen Brunson. They are local experience and committed to doing things the right way. There's no pressure and there's no gimmicks, just honest assessments and quality work. They're just not good at roofing as well. They've got great communication, and you'll always know where your project stands and what to expect from them as well. So call or go online to schedule your free roof inspection. And don't forget to ask about your free grill as well. If you schedule a free roof inspection, you get a free DLLS shirt. And if you replace your roof with Qualys Roofing, and you can choose between a free Blackstone grill and Traeger smoker as well, because getting a new roof shouldn't come with a little extra sizzle. Again, call or go online to schedule your free roof inspection. And don't forget to ask about your free grill. Visit QualisGC.com or just search Qualys Roofing and Construction. That's QUALIS, or call 817-500-9008 and get started today.
It was a rough night for me on Prize Picks.
It's a rough night for Matt.
I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
I nailed D'Angelo Russell more than 2.5 assists. That was easy. I nailed Cat more than rebounds. That was also easy. Where I failed, I'm not blaming this on PJ Washington, Kevin. That was my fault. I should have seen PJ Washington going 1 of 12 from the floor coming, but I just didn't. I even said on the pregame, I feel good about Najee Marshall having a good night tonight. I said that out loud, and I even told myself that I should have done it. But I got to hold myself accountable. On Prize Picks, you pick whether a player will get more or less than their projected stats. If you download the Prize Picks app today and use code DLLS, you can get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Don't tell PJ Washington this, unfortunately, but on Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Much like that read with Qualys Roofing, the Mavericks fumbled the last 5 seconds of tonight's game, unfortunately, to lose 113-111 at the AAC.
Back in last place in offensive rating.
Oh, wow. They dropped back to last place after
back down to 30th.
Yikes, man. I always get this wrong. Is that an I? Ira with the $2 super chat. Thank you.
Oh, is it storming outside?
I think it's starting to rain a little bit. Does trading a player make a Davis trade easier?
The big problem they have with AD, and we talked about this with Bobby Marks. Was that yesterday?
Yes.
Yesterday feels so long ago because it's – oh, no, that's 2 days ago now.
I guess technically it's 2 days
ago. So that's why it feels so long ago.
There you go.
We're after midnight now. The challenge with trading AD is they can't take back – essentially, they can't take back more money than they trade out. And AD makes $54 million, and so they basically have to take back – they have to legally they have to take back like $40 million, but most teams also can't take back too much more than they give out. So they're going to have to take back like around $50 to $54 million in salary back, and just not many teams have that number of contracts available that they'd be willing to part with. It's going to be really, really tough if they do try and trade AD.
Shout out to Sarah's in the chat. It says, I feel like the league will not let the Mavs get another high pick in the 2020s.
I don't know. So if you ask people in the chat, they think the league rigged this game against the Mavs with the call at the end.
Some would say. Let's fast forward to what was the turning point in this game, a dramatic fourth quarter. Shout out to D'Angelo Russell, who in the third quarter kept the Mavericks in this game, scoring 14 points in the third quarter alone. He finished the game with 23 points, going 9 of 15 from the field, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. Like as I mentioned, 14 of those 23 coming in the third quarter, where the Mavericks were desperately looking for offense, and D'Angelo Russell's shot making kept them in it to give them a chance going into the fourth quarter, where the Mavericks led 98-96 with 7:30 left in the final frame. They were able to maintain a 3-point lead with what was 4:30 left after a Najee Marshall layup in transition to have them up 106-103. And in a game, Bobby, that was back and forth all night long, where neither team led by more than 8 at any point in this game. Down the stretch, we saw it in the third quarter, Jalen Brunson be able to take over a little bit and get things going for New York to keep them tethered to this game as well, in a game where both teams did not shoot the basketball particularly well at all. But as you start going deeper into the fourth quarter, the Mavericks insert D'Angelo Russell back into the game with 3 minutes. They had given him a long break, about a 6-minute break, get him back in there. But in between that time, you really weren't able to stretch the lead and pull away from the Knicks and allow them to stay close to the end, where Landry Shamet hadn't made a single three-pointer, and then he makes the 2 biggest ones of the game for him, the only 2 that he made, as it starts to pour down outside our downtown studios. And the Knicks found a way to stay close, which I thought was big for them in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, if it actually starts thunderstorming, our internet has been pretty good lately, but sometimes the internet craps out for a second. So if it's like super duper thunderstorming and the stream drops, stick around, it'll come back on. But also it's recording no matter what, so we will be able to upload the podcast in full. But just want to get that disclaimer out there. But yeah, I thought D'Lo was good tonight. I don't believe that there's been a single game this season where both D'Lo and Brandon Williams have played well. It always feels like one of them monsters the other, you know? And that's just tough because they're not just splitting minutes completely. Tonight it was Brandon playing 20 and a half, D'Lo playing 24 and a half. They played a few minutes without either of them. And, you know, it's not always going to be 24-24 or whatever, but for the most part, if Kyrie's healthy or a different guy's healthy, then that guy's going to get like 34 to 36 minutes. So you're going to get 3/4 of the game with a super high-level player and then 1/4 of the game with the backup. Right now, D'Lo and Brandon Williams are both probably backup caliber players at this stage of their career, you know, unless they're on a heater. Like tonight, D'Lo was red hot, so he was playing out there like a starter. He was playing out dueling Brunson for stretches of that game. We've seen Brandon Williams do the same thing in nights whenever he's had it going. But it's like when one goes out, the other guy can't sustain it. It's very, very frustrating. They need a night where both of them play well, especially going up against a good team. And frankly, I'm not sure that the Knicks are a good team right now, but I think by the end of the season they will be. In order to win games, especially in order to have a good offense, you have to have more than 20 to 25 minutes of good point guard play. You need 36 to 40 minutes of good point guard play. And, you know, until they get nights where both of them are playing well, or at least both of them are playing fine, like it always seems like it's min-maxing. Like D'Lo tonight, 9 of 15. Brandon Williams, 2 of 11. And it's like, man, could he just not be in the game right now? And then you go back, I'm going to throw out the Wolves game because who even cares? That game is an abomination. Against Portland, Brandon Williams, 5 of 10. All right, pretty good. D'Lo, though, 4 of 11. Like, just... And it's not just shot making, it's not just shot efficiency or whatever, it's other things, decision making, and, you know, like Brandon Williams had a completely destructive game the game before Portland. They came out and were trying to play a fast-paced game against someone. I don't remember who it was. Who was the game before Portland? You remember off the top of your head?
Milwaukee? It's been a long season already.
The Clippers.
The Clippers.
You know, I don't even remember what B-Will shot in that game, but he was just completely destructive to the flow. He was trying to play so fast.
Which in a game plan for that, I mean, you're running against an AARP team in the Clippers, so the idea would be to get out and run and try to run them out the gym.
Yeah,
Clippers
that first quarter,
the
first quarter shot selection was just gruesome.
It was awesome,
you know?
For sure.
And so it's like they need a game where both of them play well, and they just haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways what we've seen so far this year, there hasn't been a game yet, at least outside of maybe the Toronto Raptors game, where the Mavericks played 4 quarters of complete basketball. There have been stretches where they've played well. There have been stretches when they haven't played very well, and it's determined outcomes of games. And unfortunately, when you're 3-9 in clutch games, it means you're not really executing down the stretch the way that you need to. I don't know when we will see this team be able to put together 4 consistent quarters of basketball, both offensively and defensively, to play the kind of complementary basketball that they want to in order to win some of these games, because these ebbs and flows don't give you a lot of margin for error to be able to have the lapses that they have, especially down the stretch in games. And unfortunately, that came back to bite them again, even with the Knicks smoking free throws all fourth quarter long, going 3 of 10 from the free throw line, which left the door wide open. We were screaming our heads off up here in the studio like, somebody please hit a damn free throw either way to be able to ice this game, to put it away. But neither team could make free throws down the stretch. And the Mavericks missed 3 of 5. PJ missed or tried to miss one and wound up making both free throws. But obviously, a lot of folks will be talking about the call at the end. I think we feel like it was the right call given the situation that Brandon Williams put the official in to make. But some folks will feel like that call wasn't necessary and should have been let go in that particular portion of the game.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I'm
You're looking back at the play right now.
I'm looking at the angle, so I'm looking on my laptop, which I guess I don't know if I can, like, if it'll even.
Yeah, we can't see.
Can you go to the close up? So it's so tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can zoom in or not. Let me see if I can. No, I can't. So I'm looking at the angle from the official's point of view that made the call.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from Mike Curtis from the Dallas Morning News. He sits courtside, like basically right at the scorer's table. And like P. Will's arm is just all the way around Shamet.
That's a hook. That's a clear hook.
And like,
yeah, that's a clear hook.
From that angle, the official that makes the call can't really tell how much, again, if like B. Will is like, like a hook, or if it's just my arm is around you. But visually,
because who's the official on the backside of that?
Well, I don't know his name, but
Okay.
that's who made the call.
Okay, yeah.
But like it's like in football, Kevin. If you shove off, like if you're the offensive player and you shove off to make a catch,
that's OPI.
Even if you aren't actually shoving off, but like you extend the arm, they're
Can't
going to
do
call it. They're just going to
call it every
They're gonna
time.
call it.
Yeah.
And then I was looking too at some of the slow-mo and then also different angles. And Shamet and B. Will are kind of connected going down the floor for a little bit. But
some will say Brandon Williams was getting bumped on the way.
I don't know. I'll be curious to see how they define it in the last 2-minute report, because to me it didn't really impact his SQBR, his speed, quickness, balance, and rhythm. But they definitely were connected. And Shamet, it depends on your perception of what like giving the offensive player room to make a move is, because like he kind of beat B. Will to the spot and was sort of like sticking out his hips a little bit. But it wasn't like in a shoving way, and his hands were back and his body was just straight up. So there was no leaning. I don't know. It's a
tough call.
Tough. I think that it would have been really lame if they would have called a defensive foul. And then based on I'm not surprised they called it an offensive foul, just because the arm was just very clearly wrapped around him. Granted, I don't know that gave B. Will any advantage or like any sort of separation. I think Brandon Williams is making that layup no matter what. Mm-hmm. He's like 10 years younger and about 15 miles an hour faster than Landry Shamet. But it is what it is, man. It's tough to get caught red-handed with your hand around a guy like that.
Yeah, like you can see from multiple angles, Brandon Williams is hooking his left arm around the body of Shamet. Now, whether the referee decides to make that call or let it go, obviously that's up to the official in that particular moment. But the thing was, the Mavericks did not have a timeout, couldn't challenge. Don't know if it would have made a difference anyway. So, again, when you look at the play, was there a little bit of contact between Shamet and Williams as Brandon Williams is trying to make his way up the floor? Yes. Obviously, the referee thought it was negligible. Otherwise, they would have called it. Williams hooks around. There's your call. And there's
I just don't think that it was a hip check. I know there's a few people in the comments that are saying that it's a hip check. I don't know. I don't see that being a hip check. A hip check, I think of like, all right, so Luka used to commit 100 hip checks a game, and he would always complain about it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, bro, you are literally breaking the rules by doing this. Like, you step out either in front of someone or sidestep into them or try and cut them off, but you lead with your hip to where you're not making like a natural motion and you're bumping into a guy, bumping him off his spot. And I'm watching this play in super ultra slow-mo and freeze framing. Shamet beats him to the spot, and they do make hip-to-hip contact, but it doesn't affect Brandon Williams' speed. It doesn't affect the direction that he's going. It clearly doesn't affect his balance or his rhythm because he's able to complete the move, and it doesn't affect his quickness either because he's still able to turn the corner. So when the officials are trying to adjudicate a play in real time, granted, they make a lot of mistakes.
For sure.
But in real time, they are looking at speed, quickness, balance, and rhythm. They always say SQBR, speed, quickness, balance, rhythm. So I'm really curious to see how they do this in the last 2-minute report because I don't think it affected the SQBR. And I'm not sure that the hook should have been called a foul either.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it was a defensive foul, but again, I'm really curious to see how they characterize it tomorrow.
Can you throw up Sarah's comment? Corporate Bobby coming to the ref's defense.
That's right.
Ugh, figures.
Underneath my DLLS Mavs shirt, I'm wearing an NBA shirt. Just an NBA officials, the referees union. What is their Twitter account?
Oh, who knows?
It's an NBA official, right?
Yeah, something
NBA
like that.
official ref. I'm wearing an @NBA official ref shirt.
Why do they have a
I
Twitter?
love Scott Foster.
Hey, relax.
I'm a huge Scott Foster fan. Who else were the refs?
No, we are not.
Scott Twardowski and JT Orr. I almost cussed. I love those guys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Love them.
Okay. Too bad you didn't have Ron's referee shirt on tonight. You'd have been official for sure.
That's why they did it, because Ron dressed up as an. They took that as a slight, not as praise.
Got it. Let's take our next break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we believe we're actually going to be joined by our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. Mark Cuban had a lot to say today with respect to Anthony Davis. We'll talk to our guy Marc Stein about it next. But the delicious taste of victory, no matter win or lose, comes with Michelob Ultra, and it deserves something equally superior as well. You could cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a great taste that won't fill you up either, so you can enjoy responsibly the sweet taste of what is Michelob Ultra. It's a superior smooth taste worth playing for as well. Whether you're out with friends, casually having a few drinks, or you just want to take a time to relax a little bit, Michelob Ultra, superior light beer with a really smooth taste, and you won't feel bad about it because it's only got 95 calories in it as well. Michelob Ultra, of course, is the official beer sponsor of the NBA, the superior smooth taste worth playing for, and it's Michelob Ultra.
Losses stink, all right? There's no way around it. It stinks to lose, but it also stinks to stink. And if you sweat, you're going to stink. That's why you got to partner with our friends at Mando. Okay, they're going to get you smelling right. And their products are also going to control that odor for up to 72 hours. So it's not just going to relieve that in the moment. I got sweaty pits and I can smell my own BO. But it's also going to protect you for 3 days. And that matters because think of what you're going to be doing over the next 3 days. You're going to be going to work. You're going to be spending time alone or with someone that you really like. And someone that you want to really like you, or friends or family or whoever, and you don't want to be putting them off, man. You don't want to be stinking up the place. All their products are also baking soda free and paraben free, so it's good and good for it. And you can choose from a variety of scents like bourbon leather, Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. How about that? As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code DLLS at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide and free shipping. That is SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. Mavericks fall once again 113-111 at the AAC. Let's go back out to the American Airlines Center right now and welcome in our national NBA insider. Yep, we are fully back. I think he does this as a bit now just to do it. He is our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. Mark, what's going on?
Hi, guys. How are we?
Hello.
I didn't see a show
okay.
tweet. Is there no show tweet?
It's been out for the last 40 minutes.
How have I not? Why am I not finding it?
I don't know, because I tagged you in it.
Damn. Great. I wanted to tweet that I was joining from the AAC. Couldn't find it.
That's okay. That's okay. We got you right now.
Mirroring the late. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that because the setup for that B will layup was incredible until the fateful whistle at the end.
Was it a defensive foul, offensive foul, or no call? I'm kind of leaning it should have been no call, but I understand why they called it an offensive foul.
I mean, I think by the letter of the law, once there is even the hint of a hooking motion, that it's, you're certainly opening the door to a call. Are there players who that wouldn't have been called on? Are there point guards on the other team that wouldn't have been called on?
Yes, there are.
Good answers to those rhetorical questions.
Someone in the chat lamenting the point that a couple of BS finishes in the last couple nights for two Dallas teams, the Islanders and the Stars game, and the way that
was not
finished.
a dirty play by the Moose last night. That was not. Craig Ludwig did a very comprehensive breakdown of it for me today and fully convinced me that Mikko Rantanen did nothing wrong.
And then, of course, tonight, with the Mavericks falling to another New York team at the American Airlines Center. Before we get to things that Mark Cuban had to say today, just your overall thoughts on tonight's performance for the Mavericks, who were severely shorthanded. Obviously, no Anthony Davis, no Kyrie Irving, of course. No cooperflagg, who popped up on the injury report today with illness.
I mean, never would have thought that the Mavs could be this competitive with PJ going through a 1-for-12 nightmare where the only thing that went wrong. He tried to miss a free throw and, of course, high-arced it in. Bizarre night. I mean, I'm running out of things to say. Like they played as, they probably played to their maximum as a group given the manpower situation. Brunson obviously comes back after missing 2 games, and we haven't seen him here a ton since he left. So he kind of was pressing at the beginning, but in the end was quite a big factor, even though the Mavs were trying to blitz him and double him and limit his touches as much as they could. The Mavs shot the 3 super well, and it doesn't work out. Turnovers kill, just, fatal again. Am I leaving anything out?
No, I mean, they got off to a good start shooting the ball well in the first quarter. D'Angelo Russell had 14 of his 23 in the third quarter to keep him in the game. He was going tit for tat with Jalen Brunson in that third quarter there.
I mean, there were just some tough late decisions. D'Lo going left late. There was one I struggling even to describe. B. Will taking a 3 when he didn't need to there and hasn't been shooting the 3 well before the play at the end that everybody's focused on. I mean, there are possessions that we can bring back and put under the microscope. I mean, look, in the grand scheme of things, the reality is it's probably a result that, I'm guessing Bobby Corella, if we hook him up to a lie detector test, is not going to claim that he's heartbroken over the outcome. But when you play this hard and have a chance to win, and the Knicks had not won a road game this season. So the planets seem to be aligned for the Mavs to steal one. But in the big picture, and you guys tell me I always tell you I can't see chat when I'm doing it from the arena. Is there a lot of disappointment and sadness and lament, or is there a lot of, we'll live with that and take the result?
Yeah, I think it's like 80% will live with that, and 20% the foul was BS.
Yeah, a lot of trade talk in the chat.
But I mean, Mark, they did play hard, and that's the first thing we said off the top of the show. Like, these guys are.
I mean, Najee
they play hard every single night.
Knicks. I loved watching Najee play. I mean, I thought he was great tonight. I mean, yeah, a lot of mixed emotions right now.
I would say so. A lot of mixed emotions, a lot of words being talked about as well. And let's start with the minority.
Take me into the chat. What are they asking about? What do they want to know?
Well, they want to know what I'm about to ask you about, which is what Mark Cuban had to say. No, it's all right. What Mark Cuban had to say to Joe Varden of The Athletic, where he said, quote, we want to try to win. We're not trading Anthony Davis this season, which, to the surprise of many, number one, a bold statement by Mark Cuban, And number two, I'll just let you take it from there. Where is this coming from?
I am not putting a great deal of stock in it. Look, Mark Cuban has always been super accessible. It's been widely and well reported that he is back in the decision-making cabinet, as I've called it, that Patrick Dumont has assembled post Nico Harrison. And so a reporter emailed him and he gave an answer, but I'm just personally not putting a huge amount of stock in this. I don't think people around the league think the Mavs are suddenly closed for business. I mean, the reality is there isn't going to be an appealing trade market unless Anthony Davis gets back out on the floor and has some sustained production. But we saw this morning at shoot around, Anthony Davis is still out there, even though it's been said he's out 7 to 10 days before the next reevaluation. You know, we've got our own Abby Jones posting footage of AD at shoot around. So he's still clearly trying to convince them that he's ready to play, that he's progressing towards playing. And I do think at some point in the near future, we are going to see him out there. And look, are the Mavericks going to gauge his value, or are they going to discourage phone calls if the phone rings? No, they are absolutely not. Everybody sees the clear picture here. If a passable trade offer presents itself, they would naturally have to consider it. But the process realistically isn't going to start until he gets back out there and shows people that he's past the issues that have limited him to what? He's played 14 out of a possible I've lost track of the number at this point. We got to be at 50 or close. Yeah, I mean, he's missed 11, but overall it's like 14 out of 52 or whatever the math is on that. I mean, so, I really don't think the scenario has changed. The situation has changed. And like I said, me personally, I am not putting a great deal of stock into that statement.
I got a two-parter for you, Mark.
And I'm going to follow up after.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Number one, do you think that, granted, you weren't the one that sent him the email, do you think that Mark was replying to that email as a fan or as a front office member? That's part one. And then I have a follow-up to that, an immediate follow-up to that.
Look, he is part of the cabinet. I've written this, I think, twice already in the last week. He has been asked to provide a level of input. He's part of their group discussions, but obviously I can't speak for him. I don't know, I'm speaking about an email in a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not rhetorical. I guess metaphorical sense. I'm assuming that's the way it went down because that is usually the quickest way that, historically, that has always been the quickest way to get a response on a team matter from Mark Cuban is just to email him. Reporters have been doing it for 25 years.
Why is he talking about the team strategy though? He is not that's not his job.
And who is he speaking for?
Yeah, why is he doing that? Why? Stop doing that.
Tremendous question that I don't have the answer to every question, and I can't say that today as this happened that I have a great answer for that one. Was he told he should do that? I don't know. I really don't.
It's just
walk with me for 30 seconds. If he wasn't told to do that and he just answered this email with that particular answer in what would be contradiction, let's just keep it broad, in contradiction to what we've heard about the ideas of Anthony Davis, why would he do such a thing?
I mean, it's a leverage thing.
I get it's a leverage. I'm just saying, why, if everybody's supposed to be on the same page here?
But wait a second. No one from the team is intentionally putting out there, yes, we are going to entertain trade discussions on Anthony Davis. So it's not in conflict with the team's own messaging, but
I just don't like that he's saying we. Bro, it's not you. No.
You're not making the decision
please
here.
Don't say we.
Well, look,
please
here's
say
the thing.
they.
the question is, well, no, he's not going to say they, but the real question here, I think this is the question to pose. And again, this just happened today. Patrick Dumont's not here, but how does this land with Patrick? I mean, that's really the question. What is Patrick going to say when, he's made aware of this? And
yeah, if he ever is.
Obviously, is he going to say anything about it?
I mean, I don't know. I really don't.
We do have a super chat, Mark, directed toward you that I would like to say. So from Laner 1172, $5 shout out.
Thank you.
Mark, how checked out is AD wearing a Packers jersey, laughing after this game ended on the way to the locker room? There's a video on X. He seems disgruntled. He doesn't want to be here.
I think he wants to play. I mean, I have not had a one-to-one conversation with him. I mean, it would not be fair for me to try to get into his head and say, I know exactly the way he's thinking, but I think it is fair to say he wants to be playing. In Mexico City, which was right after this, he's going to, I think isn't that around the time they just said he's going to miss the next 2 games? He was out on the court working out before that game in Mexico City. And then before the Memphis-Washington back-to-back, which is around the time Patrick Dumont himself stepped in and said, no, we are keeping Anthony Davis out because that's what our medical staff is suggesting we do. I mean, he wanted to play then too. He's been itching to play here for X amount of time. And so, how much is that feeding into the frustration? I mean, the Packers thing, I mean, I think Kevin can speak to that better than me just because he's a Cowboys fan.
I personally don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just.
Well, look,
I
totally get the idea that this time when when you haven't been playing and you're hoping for some understanding from the fan base, that probably wasn't the most enticing pick out of the closet that day.
Yeah, the optics weren't great, but he's been a Packers fan for 15 years. He wore Packers jerseys when he was with the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, he has been a Packers fan for a long time. I asked him the question at Media Day, gave a lengthy explanation behind it. I didn't think it was all that big a deal. Obviously, the totality of what's surrounding him.
Yeah, timing and optics were not great.
Timing and optics weren't great, but I'm not going to,
I just think it's weird that, like, adults are getting mad online about a guy
for
wearing a football jersey.
They're
but
looking
it's
for
like,
a reason.
Like, a lot of the people that got mad about that, whatever. I don't want to get all.
There's
a lot more things in the world to be upset about than that.
But
and these people aren't. Feels very fake and performative.
There are a lot, but there is a lot of frustration and understandable frustration because it has been a very bumpy 9+ months.
It has been
with a reunion looming with Luka Doncic a week from Friday.
Watch along. Will y'all be there?
No. And a reunion tonight with Jalen Brunson, who was also missed.
Yes. He made his
especially by me. I love that guy.
Yeah, great dude. Anything else before we let you go on this now Thursday morning?
No other questions from the gallery? Anything else I can try to answer? I don't want to give answers if I don't have them. I don't want to act like I know everything and this is exactly the question with the Cuban thing to me is how is that going to land internally
Yeah, it just, and maybe I'll save we're off tomorrow, so I'll maybe save the thoughts for Friday, but it just, I'll save it.
Yeah, we got to go to break.
Yeah, we'll go to break.
All right, go to break. Let Ron on. We will do it again very soon.
Appreciate your time, man. We'll talk to you on Friday.
All right, guys.
Bye, Mark.
Let's take our final break here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. When we come back, our DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr. joins us next.
Hey, you.
Hey,
you specifically.
I'm talking to you.
You know who you are.
You.
Are you a diehard? If so, I think you're a beautiful person. I think you're wonderful. I really appreciate you and everything about you. If you're not a diehard, I also think that you're a beautiful person and wonderful, but do you want to know how to become even more beautiful and even more wonderful and how to do even better than your best. If you want to unlock that 110%, then you need to scan that QR code right next to me right now. Go to alldlls.com. That is our website, and sign up to become a diehard. What you are doing when you're doing that is pledging financial support to what we're doing here at DLLS Sports. And what we're doing here at DLLS Sports is figuring it out at 12:30 in the morning.
That's right.
All right. We're trying our best. In exchange, you get a whole lot of stuff, including a free shirt of your choice. We got so many to choose from. There are so many good shirts. There's just good shirts all the time. Diehards also get early access to the Black Friday sale, and that starts next week.
Let's go.
Can you believe it?
It's hard to believe we're already at the holiday period.
I don't know when exactly it starts. I think it's pretty early. You'll hear from us more I got meetings about it tomorrow.
That's right.
And others. But anyway, Diehards get a free shirt. Diehards also save 20% on any other shirts, any other hoodies. We got hats. We got flags. We got cups. We got mugs. We got other stuff.
Is that all merch?
We got so much merch, so much gear.
That's right.
20% off events. Also, you get to join the DLS Diehard Discord lounge.
Right,
great place to hang out. You get a physical Diehard card. It actually, if you scan it at the grocery store, it saves you 79.8% on your groceries.
Verified.
That worked for me a few times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And then the manager said, "Well, what the heck is going on?" And I said, "Well, it's my Diehard card." And they pulled it out and they said, "I didn't know it worked."
That's right.
And then now they save money as well.
That's right.
And also, you get to read our whole website. It's fantastic. So thank you all for supporting what we do.
And also thank you to helping us pass 36,000 subscribers here at DLLS Sports. We did that earlier this evening. So thank all of you. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to the video you're watching right now and to DLLS Sports. Speaking of sports, this gentleman knows sports. He is our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Harrod Jr., joining us live from the American Airlines Center after the Mavericks fall 113 to 111 to drop to 4-12 on the season. Ron, what's going on?
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Ron.
Jason Kidd apparently used the word shocked. And what happened tonight? Can you help us out?
Like on the last call, he said great execution. Say
It really was
great
fantastic.
pass by D Live to PJ Washington to even be able to throw the pass. Jason Kidd just spoke out multiple times about not wanting to get fined, talking about referees. So, we'll ask,
okay.
but normally he doesn't really comment on the referees. But Najee Marshall and D'Angelo Russell were also asked. D'Angelo Russell gave a strict no comment with a straight face, while Najee Marshall said it was a hard layup. Refs called what they called. That's what it is. Exact words from Najee Marshall. So Najee was pretty checked out. After the game, he had such a good first half. Was guarding Jalen Brunson in some of the actions. At the end of the game in the fourth quarter, him and Max Christie were kind of doing that. So as he's kind of giving us, a lot of effort, the Mavs are now, fall. I think they're down 3-9. In these 12 clutch games, which lead the NBA, by the way, everybody. They've played the most clutch games in the NBA. They just have been on the losing end of a bunch of these games. It's clearly taking a toll on the players. D'Angelo Russell says, luckily this is the NBA. There's 82 games. They can build on this. And they are hurt. They're out 8 players tonight. But at the end of the day, keep losing these close games again and again and again are going to take a toll on a team mentally. And it seemed like Najee Marshall and some of the other players were affected.
Yeah, because this schedule's about to get rough.
About to.
I'm saying like I'm looking forward. It's about to get that.
This is too many damn games, man.
Yeah, rough. They've got They got a back-to-back. It'll be their second back-to-back of the week on Friday and Saturday when they take on the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. Both of them banged up now. Apparently Zion made his return and played tonight, so we'll see if Zion's available on Friday as well. So he's back for the Pelicans, who have fired their head coach, and Willie Green and James Borrego is taking over there. And the Grizzlies themselves are banged up like crazy. John Morant's going to be out that game. Jaren Jackson Jr. may be out that game as well on Saturday. So who knows? But hopefully, they continue to play close games. They gave themselves an opportunity tonight. What were your thoughts and takeaways from the performance, especially what happened in the fourth quarter down the stretch?
Well, one, I think this is one of the most complete games that the team has played, from just making big shots in moments to playing defense. I mean, they kind of gave the Knicks the best shot that they had with the players that they had available. Again, it was a close game to the end. I'm be honest, on the Brandon Williams play, I thought it was good. So did the crowd. I mean, it was one of the biggest pops of the season, and then you hear that whistle, just kind of like a deafening blow to all the Mavs fans. And then sadly, you hear a lot of the New York Knicks fans stand up and cheer. I mean, I wrote in the story tonight, that's now on our site at alldls.com, just how about how many Knicks fans were just at the game. I mean, every time Jalen Brunson had the ball, they're screaming. They're screaming deuce anytime Miles McBride takes a shot, which he was hitting glass. So they were loyal even as he hit the glass 6 times.
They had a lot of chances to
They
yell
were
his
still
name.
talking about it. They had a lot of chances. So even after all the misses, they were still standing up and saying deuce. I know the Knicks traveled a lot, just as good as as a bunch of fan bases. It was still just surprising to see as many Knicks fans as loud. So while all the drama, as I heard Stein kind of talking about before I got on here, while that's kind of over the team, then you also have to go against this other part of the crowd too. Like now the Mavs fans did cheer, they did overpower the Knicks fans a lot of the time, but it was just the sheer number and the sheer loudness of the Knicks fans that's just another added factor on top of all the drama already going on around the team.
Other takeaways for you from tonight's game, as the Mavericks now 16 games played, 12 losses, and a lot of noise around this team right now.
Yeah, I mean, before the game, the vibes seemed to be pretty good, in my opinion. I mean, on just watching warm-ups, they see people on the court and they're laughing and Najee Marshall and Brandon Williams are having like a 3-point contest on the side. They're both not missing, and it seemed to even translate on the court for Najee Marshall early in the game. It seemed like the energy was there, but again, it just the team with all the injuries and Daniel Gafford, playing on one leg, and Derek Lively's kind of still not having that huge breakout game, even though he's had a lot of flashes, including tonight. It just seems like they're fighting against so much to get a win, and so many different things have to go right. Where you can have a good Max Christie moment, you can have a good Najee Marshall game, good D'Lo game, and it's still like sometimes it's just not enough. And that just is going to continue taking a toll on a team that is legit trying as hard as they possibly can. Like Mavs fans can be upset that the team is not winning games, but you can't say that this team is not giving their all every single play and throughout the game. I mean, they were diving today. They're going for block shots. They were running in transition. They shot a crap ton of threes today. I know that made Bobby smile at the office more than likely. They made a bunch of 3-point shots, which again probably made Bobby smile. They tried a lot of different things. Another new starting lineup, again, also with Jason Kidd. We talked about Jason Kidd kind of doing with whatever is possible, just to kind of get this team going. And, Cooper Flagg was out, so it was already going to be a little different. But then they added Derek Lively to the starting lineup, and that was another wrinkle that happened. So they're doing so many different things to try to get wins, but it just hasn't been working out for this team. And, hopefully, you lose a lot of close games early. Maybe, that on the back end, maybe your luck kind of goes the other way. It's hard to play in as many close games, especially without an elite closer. It's kind of hurt them in some ways, but it seems like maybe things could turn around maybe on the back half of the season, or maybe something else will happen, everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna get tough because you've played now 11 home games, and you're 3-8 at the American Airlines Center. You finished up your schedule this year with, I believe, 15 of your last 18 games on the road. This team is going to be on the road a lot in the last couple of months of the season. So smoking what was, I know the atmosphere has been what it is the other portion of the year. That made it tough at times, but at the same time, not being able to take advantage of home schedule, that's where they are. Ron, enjoy the day off tomorrow, sir. We will talk to you on Friday, all right?
All right, everybody. We'll see you on Friday.
Bye, Ron.
So DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr. going to join us here on the program. Before we finish up, Sheldon Fennell with the $4.99 super chat. Can I have Mark Cuban's email? I'd like to send him AD trade ideas. Thanks, guys.
For a long time, it was mcuban@dallasmavs.com. I don't know if that's still his email address. He also does read Twitter DMs. He reads Dust is still around, so if you send him a message on Dust, he'll respond.
What is that?
What used to be Cyberdust.
What is that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I wasn't on any of
Found
that.
it in an app. It was like predated Snapchat. It was disappearing messages, supposed to be very like secure and encrypted and stuff.
Never.
But then also, I think you could probably find his email address somewhere. To be honest, I don't know if he still uses that one or if he has the Blog Maverick one or if he has a Gmail one. But yeah, he's very accessible.
Mavericks will get back on the floor on Friday with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. as they take on the New Orleans Pelicans. They'll probably see Zion Williamson, who was back tonight. He played 29 minutes, had 14 points, was a plus 14. They lose at home to the Nuggets, though, 125-118. Derek Queen had 30 tonight for the Pelicans in the losing effort for them. So there you go.
It's not revealing. It's like a famous thing. It's a famous thing. Fans have emailed him for years and years and years and years. So I'm not leaking. I'm not doxing.
Don, appreciate you reading my vibe because it is time to go home. Otherwise, Tanner's going to cuss me out. Appreciate all of you.
He won't be the only one.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's go then before Bobby cusses me out too.
Laner, buzzer beater, $2. Anyone worried we're so close to being a play-in team?
What?
Well, it's still they're only a couple games out right now.
Let's go. Tanner, appreciate you making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Thank you to our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr., our National NBA Insider, Marc Stein, for joining us as well. Supers. Thank you so much, Laner, for the super chats. Really appreciate you. We'll be back on Friday. Off day for us today, but we'll talk to you Friday at 6:45 p.m. for our pregame show.
Mavs are going to win on Friday night and on Saturday.
You can put a guarantee on that?
Yeah, it's going to be 2-0. They're going to win Friday and Saturday.
Okay. You heard it there from the Krill Illustrator.
Guarantee.
Okay. That is Bobby Krill, our DLLS Mavs analyst. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you Friday at 6:45 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all enjoy your Thursday. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.